Hey everybody, Pooja Chilukuri with Pooja Chilukuri Nutrition and Health, and also your host for the Wellness Education Series, Be Made Whole. Today, I'm very excited to interview a friend and colleague, Thursall Celle. Thursall is a functional nutritional therapist and certified gluten practitioner. She lives with her husband and two children, her miracles, in North Carolina. Thursall is passionate about helping others achieve their health goals through real food. She wants to help you more fully experience the joy life has to offer through real food and lifestyle changes. Welcome, Thursall. So
Thank you so
excited
much.
to. Yes, of course. And as long as I've known you, you've been very, very passionate about making lifestyle changes, living healthy, educating people about, real foods, whole foods. Can you share with us what got you started on that journey?
Um, sure, of course. So I had a previous career life in technical world, corporate and software and all those things. And actually what kind of pulled me out was a little bit of dissatisfaction with my job, but also health issues. So the biggest one being fatigue. I knew I had thyroid issues. Symptoms, but nobody would treat that for me. And so I struggled along. But it was when we tried to conceive, myself and my husband, when we tried to conceive that those health issues really just wouldn't let up. And I was labeled with infertility, and the struggle became a 3.5-year journey, a very sad one. With large interventions and treatments that failed, and a lot of money out of the pocket. And I finally said, okay, it's enough. I'm going to focus on myself and my health. I saw a practitioner who tested for food sensitivities. And once I knocked those foods out of my diet, my whole body changed within a month. I felt completely different. My skin cleared up. I lost a few pounds. My cycles got back to normal. No pain for the first time in my life. So that was huge, eye-opening. And I just kind of continued on that path. We decided not to have any more medical interventions for fertility. And about 9 months after I started that journey, I found out I was pregnant. So that was the biggest shock of my life. I've never had something like whomp me that much, because it had been all I was hoping for. I didn't even feel like I could believe that it was happening. So struggle continued. I did have another child. The one thing I knew I had to do to conceive was to remove the gluten. And it was so hard to do that. It was like I was addicted. I would just wake up every morning and make a choice to eat the toast. Oh, I don't have anything else in the house. And when we were conceiving my second child, I knew I had to stop, but I couldn't. And I actually saw a hypnotherapist who we did a session, and I stopped eating wheat, and I conceived in that cycle. Like within a month, it was just damaging my body, and I didn't know it. Later, while I was pregnant, I was actually diagnosed with non-celiac gluten sensitivity.
Wow.
But I had spent years getting tested for celiac. I'm like, I think there's something wrong, but the tests come back normal. So that opened my eyes that one food in particular was making such an impact on my body that it was preventing me from carrying out normal functions like getting pregnant. And I started to reach out to others. I found other people suffering, and largely in Facebook communities. And I found people finding hope and healing in real food. It was amazing. And so I pursued an education. That's the functional nutritional therapy practitioner, and also the certified gluten practitioner. So I've made that shift from the corporate through the struggles and into this area.
You have quite a tremendous personal journey, Thursall, and I understand being a coach. It's, you're coming from a very different place when you're helping people because you're really empathizing, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
helped yourself, which is really awesome. And so many of us are walking around feeling so bad, but we don't
Yeah.
know what's going on. So to do the root cause analysis, to do that deep dive, and to think that what we're eating, right, just normal food, that we could actually be sensitive to that it can flare up our immune systems, right?
Yes.
You have beautiful children. I'm so glad that you
Thank
figured
you.
that out.
Oh, it's yes, I'm very blessed and happy.
Yes. And so when you help people, I know you're very passionate about helping women that are looking to conceive, right, from your own journey.
Yes.
Can you speak to us a little bit and help us understand, other than food sensitivities, is there like anything else that could be going on in the environment or in our lifestyles that could hinder that whole process?
Yes. So there are chemicals surrounding us on a daily basis. And when I say chemicals, it's kind of a broad term, but I'm talking about the products that we're consuming our food from, like plastic containers, or products that we're putting on our skin. That's really important. Can I reference a favorite study?
Yes.
Okay. So this study just blows my mind. It was with just a few young girls, teenagers, and it was measuring the chemicals that were in their body when they were wearing drugstore makeup and using products that you can find on every drugstore shelf. So they stopped it for 3 days, I think. And they're the chemicals that are commonly found in fragrances, such as diethyl phthalate, decreased 27% by the end of the trial period. So how much was in the body to begin with if it decreased? Methyl and propylparabens, you probably heard those terms before.
Yes.
Used as preservatives in like nearly everything, even foods, I think.
Yes.
That dropped 45 and 44% also. And triclosan, which you can't find that in the antibacterial soaps anymore, but that fell 36%. And so what the problem is here is that these chemicals are causing endocrine disruptions. Our endocrine system is all of our hormone structure and system. And when it causes these, our system doesn't work quite right. And that can definitely impact fertility, for example, thyroid function, all of these things.
Absolutely, because the hormone system, I think we know this, right? It functions like an orchestra. Even if one piece is off, the whole thing goes off, right? So hormones are so important when we're looking to conceive. Yes, absolutely. It just reminded me, Thursall, I had read a study somewhere also that the average woman, before we leave our house in the morning, we may be lathering on like at least 300 chemicals unknowingly.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And I know that the EWG, and I will put this link also in the comments and in the show notes, that the EWG.org, they have a list of some of these chemicals that we really need to be reading the labels and looking.
Yes. Yeah, and I do have some resources on my site about choosing better products, and I actually I became a beauty counter consultant because of this exact reason. I needed safe products that I could rely on, that were not dumping chemicals into me. I swear by their sunscreen. Anyway, but it's very important to go look in all of your cabinets and check. Just check. Look at the ingredients of each product and say, I can't pronounce those. There's the word fragrance.
Yes.
That's, there's methylparaben. Yeah.
And you know what? That would be very helpful, Thursall. If you will send me the link to your website where you have the resources, I will put that in the comments and in the notes.
Great.
So we can go there and reference what we need. And gluten, you mentioned also. I know that some
Yes.
people are sensitive, and it's not
Yes.
that they have a celiac disease. And you're a
Right.
gluten certified gluten practitioner. Can you tell us what that means?
Yeah. So I have a special training, and actually, you could almost call it autoimmunity training because there's a huge impact on the autoimmune system by consuming wheat or gluten, and your intestinal system by consuming wheat or gluten. This happens to everybody. Most people can recover, but if you think you're having problems or symptoms from that, then I would say talk to somebody or steer clear.
Yes,
um,
gotcha.
but it's the training is designed to help us understand why it's happening, where it's coming from, how it can impact other systems of the body, and also how to make those changes to switch into going gluten-free. And another big thing is somebody says, oh, but I went gluten-free and it didn't make a difference. And there could be several reasons for that. So we go into that in detail in the training as well.
It's like a deep dive. That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of good work, Thursall. So,
Thank you.
I'm I'm so glad you're talking to us and educating us about these things. Because when I first started learning about it, I was like, where was I all these years? It's like your eyes start opening wide. So thank you. And is there a challenge or something that you want us to like practice? I always give my audience a challenge for the week, something to make a healthy change. So we would love to hear from you.
So the two things that pop to mind, they're both about reducing chemical and environmental toxic burden. The two things that pop to mind are trying to reduce your plastic exposure in the kitchen. The number one best thing to do is to not heat anything in plastic, and don't put hot foods in plastic. And that's the number one thing. It can get really complicated. You can like replace your whole house with glass containers and reusable Ziplocs and all these things. But just number one, don't heat anything in plastic. And the second thing is take a look at your cosmetics, your deodorant, everything that you put on, your toothpaste. Even take a look at some of those things, count out how many things you use in the morning, and then if you feel like maybe you're not sure if they're clean enough, go check them on EWG. And if you think, oh, this definitely has fragrance in the ingredients and you want to replace it, find some replacements. Make those
Absolutely.
steps.
Absolutely. That's a really good place to start, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And how about if we wanted to talk to you more, and where can we find you? You have a business name that's different from your name, right?
Yes, I do. So I'm Elemental Bloom is my business name. And that there's a website, elementalbloom.com. I also have a different avenue as well that's just getting started. So if you go to the website, there could be some boo-boos, some things still under construction, but it's mostly up there. It's focusingonfertility.com.
Oh,
And so I
yeah.
work with people one-on-one, and I also have group classes. So I'm actually getting ready to start a group coaching that's not fertility focused, but we start with a basic protocol, and it's 8-week group coaching. And then in the fall, we'll be running some fertility-based classes and a free like 5-day boost and things like that.
Yes, please let us know when you do
Okay.
that. And whatever links you send me, I'm happy to post it,
Okay.
Parcel.
Thank you
This
so
has been
much.
so enlightening and very
Thank you.
insightful, full of information. Thank you for joining us, Parcel.
Thank
And
you
thank,
so much.
and thank you, everybody, for watching. Until next time, be well.